Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Today they're showcasing the Volibear support package, and with that they added some new vocab, Titanic. So units with 8 or more attack or health are considered Titanic. So here we see some spells that will work with the new vocab. So here we have the Seismic Shard, 7 cost slow. If you behold a Titanic unit, I cost 3 less, deal 7 to a unit. So as long as you behold a unit that has 8 or more attack or health, you will get that effect. So a 4 cost deals 7 to a unit isn't too bad. Then we have Sigil of the Storm, so a 1 cost landmark, Sigil of the Storm stack, so presumably we can get multiple of these on top of each other. And then Titanic allies cost 1 less, destroy me when you play a Titanic ally. This seems like it'll be a lot of fun. Great way to get some cost reduction specifically for your Titanic units. Taking a look at that card art, looks to be up in the Freljord, and this could be a shrine to Volibear. Next up we have Valhyr's Prophet, so 3 cost 2/3. When I'm summoned, summon a Sigil of the Storm. So not too bad. The stats for this are okay, but you're obviously playing this for that landmark, trying to play this so you can bring out or cheat out your bigger units. Taking a look at the card art again, definitely the Volibear theme of the Freljordian shamans that tend to turn into animals and go a little bit crazy. Really loving the spell effect on the ground there, looks pretty awesome. Next up we have the Berserker Ursine, so 6 cost 5/3. When you play a spell or skill, summon a Sigil of the Storm. So this is pretty crazy. Now, this is quite a expensive card, but if you have a deck built around it, this will really help you stack up a whole bunch of those Sigils of the Storm, which could be very, very strong. This will be a great way to cheat out your giant units. I'm glad they have this in mind for Volibear, because he's probably going to be a very expensive and beefy unit similar to Ornn. Sadly, Ornn doesn't have any cost reduction. Seems like Volibear will have that built into his support package. So this card, while it is expensive, definitely something you're going to want to play around with if you're given the opportunity, because this could really make your whole gameplay and game plan come together much faster. Taking a look at the card art, again, some of the Volibear shamans that they keep transforming into animals until a point where they just can't stop and are permanently a essentially monster. And looks like they are raiding one of the Avarosian settlements. Next up we have Rond, the Magma Serpent. So 7 cost 8/6, with that 8 power going to classify as a Titanic unit, so this will be able to benefit from those Sigils of the Storm. It has the play effect, summon 3 Sigils of the Storm. So this is a unit that you might want to cheat out first with however many Sigils you already have, and then once he's played, he's then going to summon 3 more of these, further discounting the next Titanic unit you play. Seems pretty awesome. If we take a look at the card art, also looks pretty badass. Next up, we have Herald of Celestial Convergence. So 8 cost 5/8. Again, with that 8 health, also considered Titanic. Play, activate other allies' Daybreak and Nightfall effects. Daybreak, grant me Overwhelm. Nightfall, grant me Spell Shield. So a little interesting to see that this is a card that doesn't really seem to fit with Volibear at all. It's not even a Freljordian card, but this would be decent if you're playing one of the Targon decks for Daybreak or Nightfall, I guess. But since this is a Titanic unit, if you still were able to play those Sigils of the Storm, this would still get discounted by it. Taking a look at the card art, does look very majestic and interesting. Definitely having notes similar to both the Nightfall Owl as well as the Sunhawk, which is obvious that they're trying to kind of have this be a mix of the two. Overall, this card's really too expensive for you to really play. The only decks I would really want this would either be the Daybreak or Nightfall decks, and both of those decks aren't really going to have the way to cheat this out earlier, so as far as Path of Champions goes, you're probably never really going to want to play this card. Then last up, we have the Seismic Shard that we already looked at. I think this will be a solid card, especially with Path of Champions. Any upgrades you can get to this will just make it even better, either making this go off multiple times, reduce down its cost a little, or increasing its damage. This would be a solid card that you probably want to look out for in the shop. And taking a look at the card art, looks pretty simple. Seismic Shard, yeah, I believe this is a Malphite card, which also makes sense because of the fact that it's from Targon. So yeah, this looks like the Malphite spell from League of Legends, so that makes sense. So this just was the support package for Volibear. I think this is really interesting. One, the cards all look very cool, at least the ones that are specifically for Volibear. Really like them aesthetically, but they also look like they'll be a lot of fun to play. The Sigil of the Storm, having some specific cost reduction for your bigger units will be quite nice and give you something to work towards in the first couple rounds so that you can try to cheat out your bigger, scarier unit earlier on. Really nice. Wish Ornn had something similar to this. Looking forward to seeing the rest of Volibear's support package and him as well. That's all for today though. Patch coming out this week. Super excited. If you don't want to miss any of that coverage, definitely like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a great day.